I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Boarded up storefronts, more storms on the way. Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens every day somewhere. And when it's my house that's burning down and it seems like it's all gone up in flames, sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Hard to tell from here who'll be there when the dust settles, when we clear the air. All my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive. That's what happened on the Titanic. On the Titanic, the musicians played. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Downloading violin parts for Bad Time to Be a Clown? Yes, I did not see that coming. I love this. What is up with that? I'm back in my body, back behind my eyes. I'm back in control. opening. Got him. American Night Owl is filmed before a live webcast audience. How exciting. We're picking the lockdown, folks. Valentine's Day is the deadline. The day before Valentine's Day, we have to have everything submitted to Spotify. Boy, we have to come up with some artwork. We're going to have to master it somehow. How find somebody to master it. Use an online service. I don't know. Picking the lockdown. We're making a record. Pickle King's got something in his mind. Hashtag wise. I don't know. Some album art. I'm intrigued. I'm curious. That's cool, John. I can't wait to hear it. We're about to hear it. Just gotta fire up all the systems, make sure everything's got some love and some electricity flying through it. Who knows what we're gonna need? Everybody got their headphones on out there? Monk last night, man, he just went for it. He got saddled up, got his headphones on, went deep. Was hearing all kinds of stuff. Had so many great thoughts. He really manifested some magic last night from afar. It was a beautiful thing. Definitely recommend grabbing your headphones.
I like tater flakes. I am not one.
Sit by me sad, sit by me sorry. Whatever you have, you don't have to worry. Now just try to relax. This too shall pass, no hurry. Got some vocals sent in earlier today. Morgan Magpie.
Oh, it's a drag.
Beautiful vocals she sent in.
Like we never had.
I picked out some of my favorite spots where I thought it really worked, and haven't really mixed it completely. Just beginning. These are those right there. To have a visual cue.
It's downright easy.
Cut up my own headphones.
We stay together. We'll always have forever in all the lousy weather. Just get it out. Just let it out.
Yeah, it's these two right here. Such nice moments. We're really gonna have to milk some of them. That's one thing I will talk about in a second.
You and me, hour to hour couple honeybees. Flower to flower, come on, honey. Let's use our superpowers.
I thought my vocal sounded a little dark.
As long as we stay together, we'll always.
There's a weird note back there.
And all the lousy weather. Just get it out. Just let it out.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I had to see that vision through. I love starting the shows with adding some wild music to the drum loop of the song we're about to listen to next. So, all right, I'm still not all situated here. There's some loud stuff going on in my headphones. Where's that coming from? Sounds like it would be the guitar, but it's... Oh, it's this guy. But why? Why are you so loud? Oh, wait, you can still hear it even if I mute it. I got you. Okay. Sorry, everybody. That had a lot to think about there. All of a sudden, I just realized I had so much to think about. So I'm starting to doubt my my headphone purchase. I broke my headphones during an incredible moment in music with the whole other a couple of weeks ago, and I got too into everything, and all of a sudden my headphones are flying. I think it was New Year's Eve. It was a complete spontaneous combustion of my headphones, and I mean they flew across the room. You go back and watch it. They flew across the room. You never seen anything like it. Well, I guess obviously I was then in the market for some new headphones, and so I started going down the rabbit hole, and I was on Amazon, and I came upon these headphones that I have on my head, and they were super cheap, but the reviews were all astonishing, and it got me convinced halfway through. I'm like, oh, I guess it's like the original Amazon. We're willing to lose money for a few years until we corner the market. Once everybody gets a taste of these, it's it was like a drug or something. The first one's free. I was like, well, needless to say, by the end of reading all these reviews, I was extremely intrigued. And just, doing a YouTube show and everything, it wasn't that big of a risk. So I decided, what the heck? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy these headphones, see what everybody's raving about, right? So I did. And I really have not been too concerned about it till this week, now that we're making this record. It was the first time I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know enough to know. I read these reviews and I'm just like, wow. It's like listening to chefs talk about palate and sweet and acidic, and I don't know. Automatically you're just like, I wish I was a chef. I'd love to make food as delicious as they're talking about. But people would talk about the headphones and the frequency range and the response, and I hooked it up to my machine, and it seems to measure about the same as a pair of Sennheisers. I'd say, you got about 40 dB of losing me. You have 40 dB of losing me. That's not a bad idea for a song. So I bought these. You know what? I think I've thrown out the box, and oh wait, there it is. One Audio. Hey, you want to hear a good joke? Nathan thought it was an amazing set of headphones for like $30. I said for like $30. Is that working? I need it on to see if it was funny or not. It wasn't. It wasn't fun. Oh my God. Hold on. Take two. So these are the ones I got right here. Oh, you want to hear a good joke? Nathan thought these were a high quality set of headphones for $30. Hey. Play nice. That's not funny. God. I don't know. I got sucked into the reviews, and so I got them, and it's just been fun. Lex said they thought, and Brad both told me they thought they were cool looking, so that's pretty cool. Pretty good for the show. Matches my skin. All these wooden instruments. But now that we're making a record, the point I'm trying to make here is, now that we're making a record, I don't know. I wish I'd gone ahead and spent another $100 on my headphones. I wish I'd gone ahead and gone for guaranteed quality, for highly recommended studio headphones, closed ear so the click wouldn't be leaking out. But I actually do wish I'd done that because I do realize that I am mixing this record with you guys in these headphones. So there's probably going to be, when we do the car test or the boombox test, there might be some rude awakenings. I'm trying to do some, during the day when I wake up through the speakers loud in the room, just to have that reference too. But to tell you the truth, with this new setup, the speakers aren't in the right place either for a real studio. If I want true stereo spread, I have to get like this. They're right there and there. So, not ideal. We're making a record under less than ideal conditions, but hey, what we got and we're doing it. No one's going to stop us from making our record. Our record's going to be on Spotify. We probably won't be able to listen to it on Spotify on Valentine's Day, although that would be sweet because I think there's like a 2-week or something, depending on what service we end up using. That's going to be a whole show, by the way, is when we decide what distributor to use to distribute our record to Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, all that stuff. We'll have to look into DistroKid, CD Baby, all these things. We got a lot to learn. You know what I'm going to do right now? While I'm rambling on, I'm opening Bad Time to Be a Clown. We just got violins sent in. As we were going live, they hit the inbox. So I just downloaded them during the opening credits. Have no idea what we're getting into here. I'm going to open Bad Time to Be a Clown and import those. See what the heck is going on there. But, on the other hand, the beauty of this project is it's not just my ears that are on this thing. And last night, Swaby was reporting that the low end of Bad Time to Be a Clown was shaking the speakers on his mantle or whatever. I was like, well, let's try to dial that in. So don't be afraid to, if you notice, if you hear something, say something. If you hear something, say something. Collectively, we, as an entity with many, many ears, many sets of giant ears, thousands of giant ears, collectively can hear this. And I'm now thinking, all right, what do I got to do? All right, I need to I downloaded the files. I've already got them, but I want to put them in the right folder with the project and everything so we stay organized every step of the way. It's so tempting just to drag them in and go, but down the road, that could cause a problem. So we got to do everything by the book every step of the way. Whatever parts of the book we know. Obviously, there's volumes and volumes that we haven't read yet, but by the book. By the book. All right, we're here in the Bad Time to Be a Clown folder, in the Picking the Lockdown folder, and for Nathan, Bad Time, Violin, Love, John Dodson. He said earlier that he already loves the track, so feel free to use as little or as much of it as I like, or as we like. Let's create new tracks with those. Look at that. They're in there. Save. Now, if you go to the website, nathansland.com, and click on the Picking the Lockdown banner on the main page. You can download any of these songs, any of these tracks. I'll try to brighten up that camera here in a second. You can download this stuff and play along to it. Here what you want to do is when you download the MP3, open up whatever software you're going to record in, drag it in all the way up to the beginning, all the way up to number 1 there. It's important to line them up. Makes everything so much easier. So you just drag it in all the way to the left. I got a little overzealous with my zoom there. So then you record your part, right? And then you export your part as a WAV file, preferably mono, if you know how to do that. I can make it mono if you don't. But you want to export the whole song length. Like, now, say this is what you recorded to the MP3, this part. You just did a little something here, maybe, right? But still, either use a cycle thing or just be sure to export the entire song. A lot of them will give you the option to just export this region, and you know, sometimes you'll bounce it, and I'll get it, and it'll just be 2 seconds long. It'll be like a cymbal hit right here. That's what I heard right there, a cymbal in the second chorus. But even if it's one single cymbal hit on the second chorus, bounce it from the beginning of the song all the way to the end. So when I drag it in, I'll drag it all the way to the left as well, and it'll just line right up, and that cymbal hit will be right where you want it to be. And I don't know, I haven't even looked at yours, John. Let's see if it looks right to you. Looks pretty legit. I'll bring them up there, right there. Like the colors, nice purples. Lex is a big fan of purple. Lex loves the purple. You know, I can already tell I'm going to go ahead and crank the gain on these a little bit. Just give us as much room to work with. Shall we do this? Should we just dive right in and see what happens? Yeah. Oh, yes, we should. There's one more thing I wanted to say in terms of the pep talk tonight, but I'll just wait. We'll just dive right in. Nice. If they were... Oh, dude. Are you kidding me? Please protect me if it's not a good fit. What would protection mean? Not telling you? Telling you gently? I don't even know how I would protect you. But I already loved that. That was so sweet. I'm just soaking that up for a second. And again, realizing that this camera is so dark. Why? Why? Why are you so dark lately? Oh, that helped. Holy moly. I got an idea. Light bulb went off. Outside my head. Much better. All right, let's do that again. That was nice. Let's go ahead and send it to the room. Let it lap on some reverb. If they were only feeling down. Okay, so I am going to make this mono. I'm not exactly sure how to there's a way to convert the WAV file to mono, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that. So instead, I'm just going to switch the channel strip to make it mono. And what that basically means is when he exported it goes out as a stereo file, you know, for your left and right speaker. For any MP3 or WAV, it expects that very few things would automatically export a mono. And sometimes you might even have to struggle figuring out a way to do that. It might be an advanced move a little bit because it just is exporting a song that you can play on your phone or send to a friend. It's just giving you that stereo file that all files are, all music files. But this is unique because we're recording, so each of these is really just a mono. It doesn't have left and right sides unless you're using two different sources and you want to blend them like that. Usually, like it's one microphone, it's one guitar line, it's just one signal. So this export is a little bit adulterated in terms of a recording path signal. This is a stereo file, which is unnatural to a certain extent. And what it also does is makes panning weird. So if I go to pan now, instead of taking this one waveform that's straight down the middle, that's just one source, one microphone, and then moving that into the right speaker, it's I don't even know if you can completely hard pan a stereo file, probably to a certain extent. But if you can imagine, you got the left and right speaker, which is what those two waveforms represent, left and right. And you pan it, one's just sort of going down, but it's always there. Whereas if you take a mono signal, just one wave file, and start putting it into the right speaker, there's nothing over here. I don't know if that made sense, but that's the logic behind it. So I switched this to mono, and that should give us the sound we want. If they were only feeling down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound, just to entertain a crowd. I'm going to listen to just the first one all the way through first, just so we all hear everything that you did. Then we'll explore what the second violin part is doing, and then we'll have some fun mixing it in there. So this is just reference. We're referencing. Get your headphones on. Get ready. Get comfy. Here we go. Proud, but there's nothing I can do when they're scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Nobody knows unless they got a big red nose just how much it blows. Gotta confess, I started having fun in Discord and fishing around and saw someone was a little lost and was trying to give them guidance, and I wasn't really listening. So forgive me for those that are already taking notes on this part. Oh yeah, by the way, co-producers, do you have your trusty pad and pencil? Oh yeah, the intonation on lunch in the second verse, I thought it could be a little bit clearer. It sounds a little bit like brunch to me. When they're scared, if they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Oh, I was wondering why I was I was like, I accidentally panned it after all that talking. I accidentally was panning it, and I was like, why does it sound like it's... didn't we just talk about that?
If they only had a frown,
There it
I
is.
could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown.
Ah.
Oh no, nobody knows unless they got a big red nose just how much it blows to read this news. Oh my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoe.
Hey, John, while we're finishing listening to this first listen through on Violin 1, maybe in the chat you can describe to me what Violin 2 is doing.
Step inside my shoes, you just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time to be a clown.
Oh, it's so great. Wonderful. God, I must confess, at a certain point there during the whistling with the violin, I was like, oh my God, someone better than me could mix this so cool. I heard in my head a mix that I have no idea how to do. Tasty, so fun. Love it. How cool is that? Okay, so it's a harmony. I was just wondering if it was doubled up or what to listen for. Okay, so we have a harmony violin here. I'm gonna just unmute that and just let it fly. Then we'll start mixing a little bit.
Be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Holy moly. Save, save, save. That is so cool. I had no idea. Did not see that coming. So fun. You might have changed the whole arrangement of the song. We might have to cut stuff up and drag and paste and have an outro or something now. I could almost hear like the whistling whistle off. No one's whistling while they work. I almost heard an outro. I was like, well, God, this is so cool, but I don't, the whistling is so nice too. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh, whistle outro. Oh man. Those are my thoughts on the table. Talk amongst yourselves. Tell me what ideas you have. Let's start dialing these in a little bit. I feel like I want to put them together. There's lots I would love to do with these guys. Create a stack. That way I can just put one effect on both of them. Treat them as a group. And I think I'm going to pull this out of the room for a second and go direct with some vintage Valhalla vintage delay. This is a good one, this vintage verb. Let's just hang out with these guys for a second. God, listen to that. that was fun. So you already have some. Is that your effect? That's your effect? Okay, maybe. Probably didn't want to do that EQ on the sum. Probably want to treat these guys individually. I take that back. Right around. That sounds dry. But then when oh, it's not a delay or anything, is it? It's just the wood. It's just the sound of the wood. You hit the string and then the wood echoes it. How beautiful is that? Sweet. Okay. I see why I was tripping so hard. could turn right back in. If they were only feeling down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound just to entertain a crowd. But there's nothing I can do when they're scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how.
Headphones.
What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes.
Oh my God.
You'd just be falling down the street.
I'm so glad you said that, Swaby. I'm so glad you just said that. Swaby just said, not this is, John just said, sounds tight rhythmically, which brought to mind, for some reason this track did this to us last night, and the file that was originally uploaded to the website even was like that. It had no drums, and it actually sounds great without drums, which I think is really cool. But we've been listening to it without drums. It's about to get even more fun. Watch this. Oh, loading. It's loading. Let's go back to the top. Let's do this. Oh.
If they were only feeling down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound just to entertain a crowd. But there's nothing I can do when they're scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time to be a clown. Whoa, bacon grease. I was having too much fun. I don't know if I listened well enough. I want to hear it again. Oh man. Had to crank those violins up once the drums came in. So we have to talk about the solo, the whistle. They can't necessarily both happen, or they can if I mix it geniusly or something. I don't know. What's the call? What are we gonna do in this solo section? I have to run to the bathroom. I'm about to burst. I'll be right back. Here's a song I think, this is definitely from the lockdown time, and it's a contender for the record. I think, it's probably too topical, but then again, a record called Pickin' the Lockdown is a historical reference, so timelessness may not be the criteria that we're necessarily looking for in these songs. I'm not exactly sure. Check this out. I'm going to go refill my tea, do a little rest stop, be back in 3 minutes, and we'll talk about the solo section on Bad Time to Be a Clown. Ladies and gentlemen, John Dodson. Holy moly. That's what I thought. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, wow. Just wow. People put a bird in their tree beneath the sky of blue. Cuckoo, come, took that tree away from me and you. Stripped its branches, cut its trunk, there was nothing we could do. Then it sat upon the stump and just squawked cuckoo. Coo, 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 coo. Now some folks love that cuckoo bird, hard to believe but true. See, a lot of folks never liked that tree, anyways, not me or you. Oh, if they could, they surely would do just like it do. Cut down that tree, sit on that stump, and just squawk cuckoo. Coo, 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 coo. Seeds and we know where that little birdie flew. Someday we'll sit atop that tree, whatever we have to do. But tonight the sky is red and I don't know what to say to you, 'cause the only thing anyone can hear is a damn old cuckoo. Coo, 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 coo. American Night Owl.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Cosmic magpie tie-dyes are everything. Tie-dyeing is when you fold, twist, pleat, crumple fabric, bind it with string or rubber bands, then apply dyes. This ancient process is not only alive and thriving today, but has evolved over time. And now, pioneers of the craft, Cosmic Magpie Tie-Dye is bringing the mind-blowing, beautiful results directly to you. Choose from the brilliant collection of already made masterpieces, each one of a kind. Visit their Etsy store and let the perfect one choose you. You can also send them stuff to tie-dye for you. Any light-colored 100% or high percentage cotton or other natural fibers can be tied and dyed. Go from this to this. Go to Etsy now and visit Cosmic Magpie Tie-Dye and get you yours. All right, did you guys figure it all out? You guys know what we're doing? Like I say, my first instinct, but it's who knows if I'm on to anything there or not, was to have a whistling outro. That's risky work. It's a risky endeavor. But on the other hand, we could make it so. So in the solo section, there's the whistle, and now there's this cool violin part. Let's focus on it for a second. To be a clown. I mean, they work well together. They are, he wasn't stepping on the whistling, that's for sure. He's tasty right along with it. I feel like a producer or engineer that really knew what they were doing on a deeper level than I do would put those together in a room. It would just sound, it would make sense. It would I feel like there's a way those could sit together in the mix real nice, but I'm not convinced I know how to pull that off. To be a clown. This is a place where panning would be, a very handy thing to do. You could just put the whistle in the right speaker a little bit, and the violins over in the left speaker. But I'm operating solely in mono at the moment, trying to figure out things through that before I spread. So once we start doing that, then we should do all of it. Oh, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I'm trying to not take myself. I'm like someone that can't really swim all that good, so he doesn't want to get too far from shore, if you know what I'm talking about. Don't want to get too far from shore. To be a clown. I just thought of an experiment. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do.
I'm going to take those violins. This is the first thing we're going to try. Violin 1 solo. Violin 2 solo. All right. Then we're going to take those and stick them in the folder with the whistles. All right. So now they're in the folder with the whistles. With the whistle. And, all right. We'll call this Whistle and Fiddle, which is the record Picking the Lockdown, also known as Whistle and Fiddle, by Nathan Moore and Hippie Fiasco Rides Again. I like the sound of that. Nathan Moore and Hippie Fiasco Rides Again. That's the name of our band. When we play Carnegie Hall, that's our billing. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the Whistle and Fiddle channel and grab this thing called Ocean's Way, which simulates a room. It's a very famous studio where a lot of great records were made. And somehow they can model that in software, and they go in and they measure the room and they just capture the sound of the room. So it's supposed to be like putting you in that studio, in that room, what that room sounds like. And some people that have, recorded in those rooms and really know what they're talking about, talk about how this plugin is a miracle. I don't have trained enough ears to really completely appreciate it on the level they were talking about, but I have seen it do some magic things. So let's see what happens when we put the whistle and the fiddle in this room, and then we'll move the mics around. And in here, maybe we can do some panning before we send it out. This might just work. All right, I'm soloing this. Here we go. So this is simulating the room here, and this is where the source is standing, and maybe we should not use drums as a source, like a vocal, like a group, to give it some spread. And this is so right now there's there's close microphones in this column, middle of the room microphones, and far away microphones. And then you pick the microphone, and this is then you're moving how close to the source you want it. So watch as we move. Right up on it. All right, now let's go to the furthest away microphone. You can change what kind of microphones. Ooh, just having two microphones spread like that. you're in headphones, something just happened. You could hear that. All right, bringing the close one in. I'd really lose the violins when the song comes back in. That's interesting. It's not popping. Let's see. Yeah, something weird is going on. Let's see. What am I doing wrong? Let me see something here. All right, I guess I should. All right. This might work better. Oh, no, no. 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 Oh, no. If they were only feeling down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound just to entertain a crowd. But there's nothing I can do when they are scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time to be a clown. Thoughts? You still up, John? We kept you up this long. Is that crazy? Is it not doing anything? Of his too much? Is it too muddy? Am I? Let's see. Nathan, did you pick anything up when Brad played Tom Waits the other night? I hope you did. So, what do you think, John? Did that do anything good or bad to you, or does it sound sort of the same? A bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, it's definitely it's working for me, but I can't tell if sometimes you just get used to something, and you train your ears to hear it or something. So you gotta keep mixing it up, take little breaks, come back and do things. I got a little confused there as to exactly what was going on, but then when all was said and done, there's something I'm liking about that. It's a bad time to be a clown. Right. Oh, nobody knows unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read. Yeah, like one's not on top of the other. They're facing each other in a room. I'm not sure I'm following. Una says, I think the first two violin tracks without the synced whistle was better. You mean without the whistle at all? I really like the whistle fan. But that was why my first instinct was like, that violin's so nice that maybe it should just hold down the solo and we create a whistle outro. Was definitely an idea. But this is getting better. I feel like it's at least moving in a pretty cool direction. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time.
I was gonna say it. I wasn't hearing Lex. I looked down and it's muted. I thought he was just too low in the mix. I was like, "Where's Lex on the vocals?" There, it's Lex and Kethra.
It's a bad time to be a clown.
Has anybody noticed? Anybody give me props that finally, after all these weeks and weeks, I finally got the color of this cam shot on the thing a little bit closer? They were always so radically different. It was freaking me out. It's getting closer. Multitasking, spinning plates. That's what we do. Are you the kind of person that cheers for the person spinning the plates, or do you want to see the plates fall? What do you like?
The shoes, you just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow.
That is juicy.
What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time to be a clown.
God, I could listen to that all night. I just might. Okay, we gotta. All right. One more time from the top before we think about moving on.
If they were only feeling down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound just to entertain a crowd. But there's nothing I can do when they are scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Hot diggity do. I think now's the time for the pep talk I forgot to give earlier. And it's not really a pep talk. It's to draw our awareness. One of my weaknesses in recording, and it's something that it plagued me for years before I even knew it was what it was that was plaguing me. But let's put it this way. I grabbed a little meme that can maybe start getting this idea started a little bit. The idea is silence is a major part of music, and musicians must know when to play it. This is something I've been the opposite of a master of. It's and especially when it came to recordings. When I started recording, I'm just a troubadour. I'm just on a wing and a prayer out there. And I decided, like, how cool would it be if I could make my own recordings? And I always loved playing with recordings, but I never really, went deep with it in terms of trying to really make something. And so there's a part of me that's screaming, "That's not true. You always thought you were making something cool." But I mean, even in college, I used to love playing with the 4-track, and I would get deep. Oh, I would go deep. I would be in there forever. I'd bring the sun up night after night, thinking, that this is just the coolest. It's just so fun to do. It's just really, really fun to do, to start layering things and coming up with harmonies. But the big mistake I made early on, and then for a long time after that, is in my mind, I wanted the records to be huge. I wanted the record to be huge. So what I would start doing was just layering stuff, or put an organ on it. And I just, for years, I would make records this way. I would just layer it. I was trying to build like a pyramid, just layers, all the stairway to heaven, 1 yard at a time. That was poorly timed. All that time just listening to that song, I could have eaten a strawberry, and I decide during my locker room talk, that's bad form. I'm ashamed of myself. So the problem is that I did that. I did that for years, and I never really knew. I never worked with other people. It was always in my bedroom, so I didn't really know what I was doing wrong. And it's been like through paying closer attention, watching when I'm working with real producers like Brian Elijah Smith and engineers, and a big part of what they do that I never did, that I don't have many hours of chops at, is creating space. They created space, and the space is as important, and I'm trying to do that more than ever here. But it's still something that's a weakness of mine. It's not my instinct. My instinct is to layer it up, and make it big. And I still suffer from that, and not fully understanding how big emptiness is. That how huge musical emptiness is. It's all the songs that we think are the biggest probably have some of the most space in them in some way, because the more space there is, the further apart everything can feel from each other. And I don't know. You start really getting into the pure magic of recording and stuff when you start understanding that idea. That's why the name of tonight's show is Silence is Golden. It's a major part. So we have to be thinking about the space that we're creating with each of these tracks too. Are we putting layer on layer and all of a sudden there's no space for some little flower to spring up? Are we creating too much mud in the middle? Is there anything going on in the high end? Is there any air in it, or is it all like there in the middle where guitars and vocals and pianos and everything's like right down the middle? But then you got bass, but then you have ding ding ding. Then you have the angels and the whispers and are we balancing all that out, or all those fields being? I feel like I'm doing a lot down the middle. And in fact, I got good notes from a dear friend and a wonderful songwriter today. Libby Kirkpatrick sent me on the messenger a couple of notes that I thought were really good. Let's see if we can hear this.
Hi, Nene. It's Lib. I'm listening to Hippie Fiasco while I make dinner. Listening to you talk about cooking taters. I love you for talking about magical thinking. Thank you so much. That's keeping me company on this dark and chilly night. The cat is... Okay, so I wanted to tell you that in the recording, I'm listening to the Too Much Touch one. And
She's talking about Not the End of the World.
I'm a little deaf. My high range is deaf, and I always like a little stuff that draws me out of the mids and brings me up. So my cat rang the bell at some point during that time, and I thought, ooh, that's refreshing. That's like a little snowflake and a fresh air introduction to a room that's a little smoky or a little dense in the mid-range. And I think if you took out one or two of the double tracks that are in the mid-range.
And then she got cut off, and then she sent a follow-up one after that. But good note. Good notes. And it's funny because I wonder if she was talking about it's not the end of the world, and I can't just go to a certain place in it, but she heard a bell, right? And I wonder if she left this note for us before like she was watching the show, and then about an hour later, I ran outside and grabbed the metal ashtray from out back, and we hit it with a stick to ring a bell at the end of the song she's talking about. So it might have been a clairvoyant moment on her part to have heard that bell, and so maybe we were both feeling the same thing. But there you go. Just in general, as we go forward, think about that. Think about the silence. Are we creating the space? Are there too many layers? Is it getting muddy? Is there stuff going on in balance in the middle, at the low end, on the high end, and stuff like that? And what do we do now? I'd like to take a moment to honor a lady that passed away today. I had someone reach out to me, and I didn't really know her at all. I had one interaction with her that happened to have been filmed at the time, and apparently this little clip has become a little precious moment for a lot of the people that knew and loved her, because she didn't take many photos. She didn't want to have anything to do with that. This is a sound check at the whole other gig one day. Now she was, this is just a party, and she was just feeling really good at the moment, and she had never heard this song in her life. It wasn't that she knew it. This is just a fun... June Blackwell. So sweet. Yeah, I love that statement, Elizabeth. That's really cool. And I mean, it's definitely something that, for some reason, my friends have been telling me that for years, that I dilute some true power of my raw music or something, especially with my recordings. And a lot of times live, I would do things just like always feeling like I wasn't enough. And in my sort of compensation for not feeling like I was enough, and like trying to add a cello to it or pianos and trying to like build up this thing, I'm actually diluting the true power of the heart of my craft or something, which is super ironic, but at the same time, what's the word that not that fits. What's that funny way of putting that? Not follows. Not that follows. That not that fits. Somebody help me. Someone save my brain there. That fits. All right, so I think we've taken enough of a break to hear this Bad Time to Be a Clown fresh one more time before we move along. Down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound just to entertain a crowd. But there's nothing I can do when they are scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right Tracks? around. If they were only down and out. That Tracks? That's not it either. I feel like it's a new one people started saying. I thought was really great. That Tracks, that fits, that Tracks. Another name for the record. Picking the Lockdown, also known as That Tracks. Down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. wish it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Well, that is fun. That is fun. I think what I really want to do is hear it loud in this room during the day tomorrow. Tweak it a little bit more. I got these headphones a little bit cranked, and I don't think I'll make super wise decisions now if we work more on this track, so we got to be wary of that. Well, what do we want to do next? We got Lex coming over tomorrow, and not exactly sure if there's anything I should be doing to prep for that. I feel like there's that one more time, old friend. That song we could maybe track tomorrow night. A part of me wonders if I should play my part before he gets here, so I'm not trying to do it all tomorrow night. My computer might appreciate that as well. For those that are just tuning in that might not know what's going on, we are making a record. Our deadline is we're going to have it out to the publishers before Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is our deadline. The record is at the moment called Picking the Lockdown, and we have 10 tracks so far, and a couple that we haven't begun tracking, but we have 10 right now on the website, nathansland.com, that you can check out. You can grab and play to if you want, and we're mixing them and playing new parts and stuff here live on the show. So we're a show with a purpose at the moment, creating a musical love letter for the world. And we just mixed in violins that I received as the show was starting tonight. They came in the inbox, bam, and there they are. Trying to figure out what's going on in the chat. I feel like you're messing with me, Wired. What's going on in here? It's a little distracting. It's just a little bit distracting. Is there something I can do for you? I know you want me to play music and stuff, but we're sort of working at the moment. If I play you one song, will you play nice? You mentioned that song, Safe and Sorry. I really like that song. I really enjoy singing that song. And actually, I was about to say, because I was thinking earlier of songs that really haven't been on a Nathan Moore record, but that's not one of them. That was on You Yes Smoking Hot. I always feel like I'd like to record that one again. But one of these days we'll make I'm just thinking of all the records we're going to make. I'm pretty excited. We're going to... I'm just sitting here thinking. Maybe we'll open up.
Oops, I don't know where I got cut off. When the cat rang the bell, I thought that is nice. That's a little like snowflake in a dense energy. So I was thinking take out one of the doubles, like maybe like in between verses, or for one or two verses, take out the second track of whatever the doubles are. I think there's a banjo double, and is there an accordion? Instead of accordion, which is mid-range, I would make some space, take all the mids out, and put a little like twinkly stuff in there as a solo, or like a little bell solo maybe, or like I don't know, something that rings true to you, but something that brings us up into the twinkles. I need to get up in the twinkles there. Know what I'm saying? That's what I think. My 2 cents. 12 hours late. Night-night.
I love how perfect that was. Holy moly, with the water sound even. That's just ridiculous.
Oops.
How does all this magic happen? It's so crazy. All right, so I'm opening the song she was talking about. It's Not the End of the World. Twinkles. Twinkles. She's saying, it's a little thick in the middle. It needs to be balanced out. We do have 2 banjos. Now, we made that decision last night when I was like, okay, we got 2 banjos here, and we just played like the first 8 bars and decided that they sounded good together, and they do. But then again, they're just cruising all the way through the song, and both of them probably not needed all the time, and it's hard to do, but I think it's important to figure out. It's something I'm really been struggling to learn is how less really is more. It gets bigger as you create that space, as you create those spaces. Most people, like if Brian was looking at this, I guarantee you he would be looking to eliminate as much as possible. What can I get rid of? He's not looking for what he likes. He's looking for what he can live without. And I'm just learning that. And still, this is my tendency. There it is. Look at those 2 banjos just cruising along, whether they're needed or not, just filling up space. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such great. See, that is a lot of sonic real estate, and it's such an illusion that happens as you start layering stuff up. Especially you can cut things down, and I've done this where I'll bury a lot of tracks you're not really hearing at all. They're just down there because I felt like I was making it bigger, just bigger, but it wasn't. And I think I'm doing it again right here with that. I doubt that that's really doing any good at all. Let's pull it out as soon as the vocal starts and see what that feels like. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people. Let's bring it back in right there. But it got bigger there for a second. Less is more. Less is more. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I that's all we really want it for anyways. Window is online. I keep seeing such good people in such I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. End of the I wonder if we ever need two. I like this little passage. I like that little bit. That much I know. That I know I like. Thank you, Victoria. Appreciate that. We're making a record together. This a new name, so just say if you don't know what's going on, you're now a co-producer on this album. We're gonna have it done by Valentine's Day. It's Hippie Fiasco's love letter to the world, and we're making it live. Might be all we need, right? I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Boarded up storefronts, more storms on the way. Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens every day somewhere.
Right?
When it's my house that's burning down and it seems like it's all gone up in flames, sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world.
I think you're right, Wired. Not perfect yet, but
It's hard to tell from here who'll be there when the dust settles, when we clear the air. All my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive.
still need twinkles.
That's what happened on the Titanic. On the Titanic, the musicians played. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world.
There's the bell.
Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world.
Oh my goodness. Proof of concept. Proof of concept. How about that? Great note. Libby Kirkpatrick, ladies and gentlemen. Great note. Yeah, taking out that banjo created more space. More space, it got bigger. Isn't that interesting? It's just so interesting. Take something away and it expands. Should have had Dad explain that. But I bet he knows why that is on a chemical level. But I am feeling that, not missing the banjo, and the banjo that's there now is so charming. It's just plodding away. It feels more real, more like an individual playing a banjo than a banjo playing itself. It's not the banjo, it's a banjo. I really felt a big difference there. Now I'm thinking about twinkles. I feel like we brought the twinkles that were in the banjo out, and that was pretty cool. But do we need more twinkles? I feel like there's a couple of parts that might be buried a little bit that we're trying to be twinkles. Twinkles.
God, did you feel that right out of the gate? Hitting something in the twinkly area in the high end gave it even. That was just a couple of bum notes, and I felt it already. Anybody in headphones out there, just go, whoa. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Boarded up storefronts, more storms on the way. Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens every day somewhere. When it's my house that's burning down and it seems like it's all gone up in flames, sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Gosh, I'm wondering. Not sure how to do what I just thought of. Cheers. Everything happens every day somewhere. There's a part of me wondering here. Let's see. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. I lost my idea there at the end. Let me just hear this for a second. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. That one was too loud. I just want to grab it now. Ma would say, oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Boarded up storefronts, more storms. All right. Last track we were looking for whistles. Now it seems like we're looking for bells. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Up storefronts, more storms on the way. Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens every day somewhere. When it's my house that's burning down and it seems like it's all gone up in flames, sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. It's hard to tell from here who'll be there when the dust. Oops. It's hard to tell from here who'll be there when the dust settles, when we clear the air. All my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive. That's what happened on the Titanic. On the Titanic, the musicians played. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. How about that? It's doing something, isn't it? I've forgotten. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. up storefronts, more storms on the way. Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens every day somewhere. When it's my house that's burned.
Oh my God,
down.
I just got to stop it and say that banjo sounds so nice in there all of a sudden. I love the banjo more than ever. It's so wild.
Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens every day somewhere. When it's my house that's burning down, and it seems like it's all gone up in flames, sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world.
So I haven't heard any of my co-producers talk to me about the part we just laid down. Are you liking? I'm getting the feeling that you're digging it from the moving pictures and the emojis. All seem to be enjoying the space. Is that the note? Wasn't the banjo? Yeah, the banjo was Tobin's idea, and it was spot on that night and sounds so great. Were you here a little bit ago where we had this whole revelation that were two banjos going on and maybe we should only try one, and all of a sudden it opened up all this nice space, and the song got bigger all of a sudden, and then we just added this bell sound going through it on the keyboard. And curious as to y'all's thoughts on that. Am I freaking out, or is that nice?
I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations.
Yeah, should we go even higher with the bell? Here's what you missed, Ona. We added this bell. Our friend Libby thought the song needed more twinkles, stuff in the high end. So now that's going on in there. Oops. What do they do? Why is the... All right, Rob. I'll try a whole nother track, same way, but with a too high. See what that sounds like. And I'm playing a B over the C. I'd like the tension now. I don't know if it'll get to me eventually. I'll just do them too loud for now.
I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna go and grab that. Maybe At first I was thinking it was probably the same whether I played it soft or hard, and I could mix it later. So as long as they're consistent is what I was thinking. But the softer, even though it's so hard, so easy to mess it up, just a little bit too hard and it goes to the next sound. But softer touch might have a little bit better tone. First one was a little loud. I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Up storefronts, more storms on the way. Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens
Up higher, you mean?
Somewhere. When it's my house that's burning down and it seems like it's all gone up in flames.
Lost the touch there.
Friend who might be lost in despair. Everything happens.
Is this what you mean coming up?
Somewhere. When it's my house that's burning down and it seems like it's all gone up in flames. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world.
Is that the C you're talking about or the other one? to tell from here who'll be there when the dust settles, when we clear the air. All my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive. That's what happened on the Titanic. On the Titanic, the musicians played. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. 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 Oh, it's not the end of the world.
So now both of them or just one of them? Perfect.
I've forgotten how it feels to touch. Lately I've remembered too much. Now as winter quickly tightens the bind and the only open window is online, I keep seeing such good people in such situations, in such grave pain. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world.
What do you think, Rob?
Oh, it's not the end of the world. Boarded up storefronts, more storms on the way. Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear.
Might be too much there. Flattening, merging.
Oh, it's not the end of the world. Boarded up storefronts, more storms on the way.
Good thinking, man.
Not for the wind, not for the rain, but for fear of a friend who might be lost in despair.
With you 100%.
Everything happens every day somewhere. When it's my house that's burning down and it seems like it's all gone up in flames, sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world.
hard to tell from here who'll be there when the dust settles, when we clear the air. All my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive. My lunatics. The air. All my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive. That's what happened on the... Yeah, I'm definitely playing around there a little bit with that B on the C. It's sort of cool though. Takes it in a little bit different direction. Maybe that pulls it out away from Ramblin' Man in some way. I should stop talking about that. When we clear the air, all my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive. Yeah. All my friends are lunatics, so they'll probably survive. They'll probably be glad to be alive. That's what happened on the Titanic. On the Titanic, the musicians played. Sometimes I have to remind myself what my grandma would say. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. All right, now I'm not sure I want that ashtray hit offset like that. Almost want it right there with the other thing. Where is that ashtray? There it is. Oh, it's not the end of the world. It is sort of fun though. It really feels like somebody having fun. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Well, I like that ending. The world. It's like bright, it's like hopeful and haunting. It's not the end of the world. Hey dude, what's up, Christo? How are you this evening? We've been making some good, steady progress here in the studio working on our album. Right, I think we earned a beer. We definitely earned a beer. My goodness. We should bounce this. Are they too loud? Are they in a good place? I'm a little self-conscious about them, but I really like them too. Isn't it? All right, we'll just bounce this. I forgot to bounce Bad Time to Be a Clown. Replace. Oh, that's how it works. Gone forever, those old mixes. If we lost something, we'll have to find our way back on our own. No breadcrumbs. Long way from shore. That's for sure. Oh, you're in there painting? All right, well, when we're in the middle of the mix, I'll cut to it from time to time. Strawberry break. Man, I don't know about you, but if you're anything like me, you've really been struggling to understand this whole stock market thing. Everybody's having so much fun talking about it. I just want to truly understand it. And I read some good explanations that got me a little bit closer to understanding some aspects of what is happening, but not to where I completely get my brain around it. I could talk about it like I knew what was going on, but that would be misleading. But apparently Redditors, people on Reddit, are costing these hedge funds billions and billions of dollars. It's the ultimate troll move. It's a fascinating phenomenon. It's another ripple in the fabric of it all, and it's amazing to watch how it's so funny when powerful people are threatened, the forces that move swiftly to close that ripple as soon as possible is pretty devastating to people that know that they get screwed by things all the time and they have no ability to just shut that down. What did they do? Put them in jail for what? Well, we got to stop that immediately. Stop that immediately. No more putting people in jail for that. We went to war for what? What? Stop that immediately. No, put a stop to that immediately. No, not another day of that. All right, that track is bounced. It will be updated on the website. And let's, just while I'm thinking about it, bounced out. Take one more listen to Bad Time to Be a Clown. It's fun anyways. We got new violin parts that were sent in tonight. As I was going live, they popped up in the inbox just like that. It was like magic. John Dodson. And I didn't even know what to expect. When he said, I sent you some violins in the chat, I did not think of Bad Time to Be a Clown. But then when I heard it, I thought, well, of course. Eureka. It's perfect. Yeah, for those just tuning in, check this out. I'll load the drums this time out of the gate. We'll do a nice little listen session before I bounce. Should I scroll back up for the clown memes or start anew? Who's this guy calling? If they were only feeling down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound just to entertain a crowd. But there's nothing I can do when they are scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Oh, system overload. Mercy. Come on, really? It must have been the clown. Got freaked out. A bad time to be a clown. Unless they got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Oh my goodness, it's so fun. All right, I'm gonna EQ Lex a little bit here.
Bad time, bad time. Bad time, bad time. Bad time, bad time
to be a clown. It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. A bad time to be a clown. Yeah, now we're talking. Hey, Ben. It's a bad time, a bad time. We're cooking. To be a clown. I like that move I just did. Cleaning up Lex's vocal. Oh, man. Golly. Oh no, auto-tune on the whistle, you think? It's so close. All right, let's do it. All right, we're in F minor, I guess. and G and G sharp. Yep, A flat, B flat, C. Okay, those are all the notes we want. And let's see what happens here. How about that? Way to go, Ona. Yeah? Did that out of the gate? Do I need to tweak it at all? Or
Bad time to be a clown.
April! Hey! Good to see you.
Just how much it blows to read this news. Oh,
Pouring rain. Yeah, there's been a lot of rain on the West Coast I've been hearing about, all up and down. Some crazy rain. I mean, just some crazy rain. Every now and again, it starts raining in such a way it's a little bit scary. It's just like, oh man, that's some rain. That's some rain. Did you have a Pip sighting? Yeah. It's funny, Pip came up and rubbed on my leg, surprise, right when Ben walked in going, howdy. It's like a soundtrack in some weird way. Wow. Digging it. I'm digging this. So, was that enough was that enough pitch correction there, Ona? Good call. It sounds good. Sounds good. But there's like a little... Oh, good. Sounds a lot... See, there's again... You'll be seeing a lot of my weaknesses through this process because I didn't even notice. I might have felt it, but I didn't know enough to go there. Good job. There's Pip. Yeah, Pip is liking this track. Hey there. What's up, sweetie? She's usually, like she has about 10 minutes of this attitude a day towards us. I mean, she always loves us, but she's usually terrified of us at the same time. So she needs to be near us, but with her escape plan well mapped out and uninterrupted. Doesn't want to feel. So she's always at a safe distance. She's a great quarantiner, great social distancer. Very cool like that. But then, for about 10 minutes a day, she gets like this. Like, oh my God, I need some love. I need a little bit of love from you. I'm so scared right now. I'm freaking out, but I just gotta have a little bit of love.
bad time, a bad time to be a clown.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered something. Somebody posted on my Facebook page that apparently today's date, or the 28th or something, is National Kazoo Day. I didn't even know that existed a National Kazoo Day, but apparently it's either today or today. In other words, it's either I think it's the 28th. So it was yesterday, I guess, for a lot of people. I guess for everybody at this point. But happy National Kazoo Day. I mean, next year we're really going to have to celebrate. I was completely caught unawares. But Yay, national. Yay. Oh God. Yeah, we'll celebrate in style next year. We need warning. Something as significant as freaking National Kazoo Day? Are you kidding me? Well, I don't know. Well, we've gotten some good work done tonight. I don't know. What should we keep going? I'll be right back. You guys figure it out. Talk amongst yourselves. Towels hum, make it stop. Hot sauce, 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 towels hum.
Make it hot.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Cosmic magpie tie-dyes are everything. Tie-dyeing is when you fold, twist, pleat, crumple fabric, bind it with string or rubber bands, then apply dyes. This ancient process is not only alive and thriving today, but has evolved over time. And now, pioneers of the craft. Oh, Cosmic
sorry, it was gone a little bit longer than I thought it would be. I think I played this one already tonight.
Results directly to you. Choose from the brilliant collection of already made masterpieces, each one of a kind. Visit their
Arizona
Etsy
still
store
doesn't
and let the
recognize
perfect
it.
one choose you. You can also send them stuff to tie-dye for you. Any light-colored 100% or high percentage cotton or other natural fibers can be tied and dyed. Go from this to this. Go to Etsy now and visit Cosmic Magpie Tie-Dye and get you yours.
There ain't no shine. I wanna know whether you'll be mine. Looking at my baby, looking fine. In your Sunday best.
Anybody got a kazoo?
Everything about you is money. I wanna take you to your sunny place. Won't even treat you like won't even treat you. Got a sweet little something on my heart. Wait, we gotta give it to him one more time before we take all those kazoos back. Don't we? 1, 2, 3. To us.
On kazoo.
Don't run, jump, or dance while playing the kazoo. Thanks.
Ouch! Oh, hi. Wait a minute. Who are you? I'll tell you a secret. Sometimes I get a little quiet when I meet lots of new kids. You know what? I think we're gonna be friends.
Special friends.
Find out.
Hi. Some people call me the crying kazoo man. I don't know why, but I'm gonna grab my kazoo now. I'm gonna get in there. Here. Give me. Can I have that, please? Oh, thank you. I try so hard. I get so mad when I can't do it. I get so mad. Huh? I think I was onto something. I really was.
Come on, you can play it. You can play it. Come on, computer. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, quit acting like it's so hard. Oh, here they go. Yeah.
You saw a miracle. What would
Happy National Kazoo Day, everybody. Keep it up, America.
miracle?
American Night Owl. American Night Owl. That's what I said. Happy National Kazoo Day. We live to kazoo another year. Hallelujah. All right, well. Did we bounce bad time? I swear I don't remember. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do at all. I'll just do it again. Better be safe than sorry. Okay, well, we should mix down Honeybee, too, because we did a little work on that at the beginning. Actually, we didn't do a whole lot because I just got the violin parts sent to me right as we were going live. The new stuff in the inbox. John Dotson, violin parts for Bad Time to Be a Clown. Holy moly, so cool. These are good strawberries. Really good. Look how big these projects are getting. Taking a while to bounce. Well, you said that right, Tanner. What a time to be alive. Holy moly. Look at that thing. Just crawling across there. Oh, there's new stuff going on in the picking the lockdown, huh? What's going on in here? Hello, is there anybody in here? Picking the lockdown room? Oh, check the DMs. All right. Sweet. More tracks. I can't grab them on the iPad, though. What got sent? Oh, for Clown. Look at that. Speak of the devil. Let's see. I wish I'd looked before this, because we might have to do this again here in a second. I watched that animated GIF of the key going in and realized I never quite appreciated how that worked exactly. And it took me a little while to still get it, even seeing it happen. But then I was like, oh, I get it. All right. Wish the computer luck. It's opening up a web page. Some clown backups. Downloading. Incoming. Yeah, for those that didn't know before, isn't that cool how a key works? Then when they're all even, it'll open. Expanding. Well, that time we got through the web browser opening pretty painlessly, I'd say. All right, incoming. Create new tracks. Let's see what's happening. If they were only feeling down, I could make a funny sound. I could dance a silly dance, oh, I've dared. I can pratfall, rebound just to entertain a crowd. But there's nothing I can do when they are scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. Oh yeah, there's a sweet. Let's bring them on down into the mix. Nothing I can do when they're scared. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze. No one's whistling while they work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Got a big red nose, just how much it blows to read this news. Oh, my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step inside my shoes. You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. My shoes, you just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Man, that's so beautiful. Yes, thank you for doing that. Pip just stepped on the electric guitar. Pip's ready to rock. Pip's got you, Tanner. I'm thinking to myself about the singing. I definitely love the Oz. The singing parts with me, I just can't tell exactly. Should definitely be a little bit down in there. And when I say I mean as a part, definitely not as a performance, because you nailed everything you did. So good. If I liked the part but didn't like the performance, I'd probably ask if you'd do it again. But you nailed it. Only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? That's nice. It's a bad time to be a clown. I just had it sitting in the wrong place in the mix. Made me more confused than I had to be. It's real nice. If they only had a frown, I could turn it right around. If they were only down and out, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. Nice. The flower in my lapel has a dried up empty well. Used to hold the water that I'd squirt. Now I give the ball a squeeze, it just puffs a tiny breeze.
Yeah, I do too. I do too, Anna.
They work. If they only had a smile, I could play with it a while. If they only wanted style, I know how. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown.
Really nice. Really nice. Wow. Who knew? Boy, if I had known when I woke up today that Bad Time to Be a Clown was going to sound like this by the time I went to bed, I never would have been able to sleep. Nice.
Oh no, nobody knows unless they got a big red nose just how much it blows to read this news. Oh my strange weather friends, I wouldn't recommend taking a single step.
I love those.
My
I love those, John.
You just be falling down the street, tripping on your feet. They only fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a
Haven't done these yet.
fit me anyhow. What am I gonna do now? It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown. It's a bad time, a bad time to be a clown.
Bam. Who knew? Bouncing. 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 Absolutely wonderful, Magpie. Thank you so much for doing that. I hope you had fun doing it. Sounds like it. Real nice. Here it is. Well, I guess that's a pretty good day's work. Feel a little unprepared for Lex tomorrow night. You know, one thing I can't decide on, maybe you good late night crew would be a good bouncer offer. That Down in Flames Up in Smoke song. There's something I really like about playing it, but I'm not sure that I'd ever want to hear it. It's definitely on the sad side. The one I'm talking about is I played it once on the show, I think, when I wrote it, and then forgot all about it, and then saw it on when watching the shows back. I was like, "Oh right, that song." So much for that after school special ending.
I was hoping was coming. I was praying was coming. With a frozen heart stalled by a simple befriending. People believing guitars are strumming. There it goes, down in flames. There it goes, up in smoke. There it goes. At a fork in the road, there were two that were standing. One that was a knife, one that was a spoon. And we come full circle, we back at the beginning. These are those same hills, that is the same moon. There it goes, up in smoke. There it goes, down in flames. There it goes, up in smoke. There it goes, down in flames. There it goes. Oh baby, hold on tight. Go. Oh baby, hold on tight. We're going for a ride, and we'll probably have to drive right through the night. Right through the night. Right through the night. Listen out for the lovers who are laughing like children. Look for the listeners. Lend them a whisper. There's some you have to run with. Some you'll have to run from. There's some you must go with them. Might have to step into the fire. I'm not sure whether I forget what that part is. There it goes, up in smoke. There it goes, down in flames. There it goes, up in smoke. There it goes, down in flames. There it goes. That one. I meant to switch camera, but I just got into thinking hard about the song. That's sort of how it goes. I couldn't remember the last words. It's a pretty sad song. Oh, thank you. Well, it's definitely from this time of lockdown, for sure, which makes it a contender. I think the cow ran away with the spoon. There you go. I think you're probably right. Yeah, that's another reason why I'm iffy on that. I'm not exactly sure what I mean by that verse. I know that a phrase that came out is is people that are just trying to stir up crap on social media are referred to as spoons. So would probably have to confess that might have something to do with where that line came from, except from, of course, the fork in the road. It's a little clever, a little silly. The one thing I love about it is I've never really written a moment like that. We'll probably have to drive right through the night. Right through the night. That's just a little suspended tension there. It's like, oh, that's a new feeling. I could do that all night. On YouTube, look out, be careful. Right through the night. Right through the night. Root Beer says, all kidding aside, it's a good song. I bet it would, I mean, it might be one of those ones that sounds really nice, tracked out too. Some cool bass, a lot of space, but it's big. Just because. Spooning is fun till trolls forked it up, right? So it was April, right? That was in Facebook jail. It was the sighting tonight of Free at Last. Please come home to Memphis. All right, maybe somebody can help me. Did I bounce it? Did I bounce this Bad Time to Be a Clown? I feel like I did, right? Oh my God, look at all those bounces. 4:10 a.m. Okay, so that was 7 minutes ago. That seems about right. What have we been doing for 7 minutes? Was I really rambling about... Oh, I sang that song, right. Cuckoo could also be fun to play, but I don't know if that carries. And do y'all remember the one about the goddesses? It had like, each verse was about a different Aphrodite. I shouldn't even be thinking like this. I just don't want to miss any while we're doing it, the Picking the Lockdown record. I don't do many ballads. It's weird. I wonder why that is. I definitely love ballads. That's going to go to my head. I'm going to be like, I'm a balladeer now. Get some new business cards. Oh yeah, I used to be a troubadour. I was a troubadour once. Now I'm a balladeer. Yo, in a bottle of rum, hoist the mainsails, here I come. Yeah. Ain't no room on board for the insincere. You're my witness, I'm your mutiny. I was born to rock the boat. Some may sink, but we will float. Grab your coat, let's get out of here. You're my witness, I'm your mutiny. Long ago we laughed at shadows, lightning flash, and thunder followed us. It could never, I can't remember that part. Long ago we laughed at shadows, lightning flashed and thunder followed us. They could never find us here. You're my witness, I'm your mutiny. You're my witness, I'm your mutiny. That's the only ballad I know. Is that a ballad? What is a ballad? What even is a ballad? Now that I'm a balladeer, I'm going to have to find out. Well, great work tonight. Thank you so much for doing this with me. See you soon. Lex is coming over tomorrow night, 11:30. We're going to go live, and he says he's up for some tracking. So maybe we'll do a little bit of both. Maybe we'll do some whole othering and some tracking. I don't know. Maybe we'll try the Up in Smoke song. I think he might bring his upright bass over, and we should give a go, possibly at One More Time, Old Friend. I know Ethan. Ethan's been doing a show every other Wednesday on Hippie Fiasco Television that is completely awesome, and he has a bunch of fine fiddlers and pickers, mandolin players, and people that he's living with and around up where he is now. And so he wants to contribute something, but something like Old Time Old Friend would be an easy little picker for people to hop on. And then the final track on the record would at least have some picking. What's this? Picking the Lockdown. I don't know. This guy's from Virginia, and the record was called Picking the Lockdown. I put it on, and there was no picking on it until the very last song. Then there was some mighty fine picking. But it wasn't until the last song that any picking at all occurred. Picking the Lockdown, my ass. That is not picking the lockdown. I was fooled. Yeah, he's right there in Virginia, picking the lockdown. Heard a little bit of banjo in this one song about his grandma, but it wasn't picking. It was just plodding along. It was just sitting there thinking. Silent. What's the question? Where do wave files live for these sessions, or for you to listen to? nathansland.com is where people can grab files to play to. They're MP3s though, but they'll work. Reference tracks to play to. Well, I'm going to have to bounce Honeybee before I go to bed, so might as well do it on the show. This will be our leaving song. Open Sesame. that click? Oh, nothing. Sit by me sad, sit by me sorry. Whatever you have, you don't have to worry. Now just try to relax. This too shall pass, no hurry. I know it's a drag, seems like there's always a season like we never had. But we both know the reason that it ain't so bad. In fact, sometimes it's downright easy. As long as we stay together, we'll always have forever in all the lousy weather. Just get it out, just let it out. Have forever in all the lousy. Have forever in all the. We'll always have forever in all the lousy weather. Just get it out, just let it out. Yeah, I'm just doing songs I wrote. Got a frog in my mouth, frog in my throat. Not even writing new songs for it. All the songs are written going in. We know there's a few contenders that haven't been tracked yet, but as long as we stay together, we'll always have forever in all the lousy weather. Just get it out, just let it out. You and me, hour to hour couple honeybees, flower to flower, come on honey, let's use our superpowers. As long as we stay together, we'll always have forever and all the lousy weather. Thank you very much. Just get it out. So just fun. Let it out. Really, my little secret. It's probably not even so much of a secret, but my little secret is even though I dabble in so many things and love so many things, like I'm always a songwriter first. And really, did I just drag that past the one? I feel like I did. Shit. I didn't even know you could do that. Some pre-roll there. Goodness. Like my primary motivation is almost always to write songs, and a lot of the reasons why I'm doing this show and all the time and is for the songs that it will produce, that it'll get me to write, that it will inspire me to write. It's always my even when I'm back in the day when I was spending hours and hours trying to learn how to do magic, it was just so I could write those songs, really. Or try to play saxophone. It's also, I'll write those songs. All right. Bouncing. So I will update the website with the new mixes that we did tonight. Try to keep them updated. Oh no! I just hit the wrong button. Dag nabbit. I don't know how to interrupt this process. So we're gonna have to see it through. Have to wait it out. I guess we could look at the headlines. Let's see here. Let's go to the Drudge. What's the Drudge saying? Vicious variant from South Africa detected in USA for first time. I hate these variant talks. Aww. Cicely Tyson. God, have y'all been checking out what's been going on in Russia lately? That's some anti-Putin protesting. You know, that never happens. And but you know that guy that they tried to assassinate with the poison in another country or something? You know, he went back to Russia. He's the opposition there, and they put him in jail as soon as he got back to Russia. When I heard that story, I was like, wow, he went back. Like, I know he has family there and everything, but holy moly, they just tried to poison you, and you're going back. And so he goes back, and they just arrest him, and people were not having it. So they just been out in the streets going, no way. But it is Russia, and Putin is in charge, and it's the whole world is going through so much at the moment, so many different ways. All right, let me fix this. I need to bounce it again because I hit the wrong button before. Replace. What's holding up the next test of SpaceX Starship? Musk blames the FAA. They got the FAA in Texas? That's the first I heard of that. You mean to tell me they got the FAA in Texas too? What did you? Oh man, there goes that. Hostility between congressional Republicans and Dems reaches new lows amid growing fears of violence. What is the growing fears of violence? I've seen that alluded to in a couple of things, but I don't know. That seems like clickbait. If it bleeds, it leads kind of journalism to me. I mean, there's going to be violence, of course. There's always going to be ridiculous violence. But still. What are they talking about? What do they want? What are they doing to stop it? That's the question. And with that, the bounce is done. Bravo. Good work, everybody. I keep on hitting the laugh track when I mean to hit applause. But, maybe that'll keep us humble. We got to get humble. And we got to feel like rock stars in here, making the coolest record of all time. Holy moly, when the world hears this, it's going to blow up. It's going to change things. Nothing wrong with feeling like that, too. Love you so much. See you tomorrow night, I hope. Tell your ma, tell your pa. Our love's going to grow wall to wall. Oh, I've got to find a poem. There's a poem. There's a poem around here somewhere. I'll get you your poem.
When you cut him.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.